my 10th year here. And why have I stayed for 10 years when I've never stayed anywhere nearly that long before in my career? Because it used to be that you found one place and maybe your father or your grandfather worked there for 30 or 35 years and then they retired and had a pension. It's not the way it works anymore, right? Typically people jump around, and yet one of our goals at Telefluent is to increase tenure, to have more of you stay for longer. And so when he asked me why, I had to think about that pretty quickly because he wanted an answer. He was waiting. You know, we're interviewing him, but he's interviewing us too. And I think number one, it's because I come to work every day and I know I'm going to have fun. You know, sometimes it can be repetitious, right? I mean, we all have repetitious things we do, but interacting with people, both our friends at work, and all of you comment on Tiny Pulse in question after question. That's what you love, is the family atmosphere and the friends you have at work. It's like playing with your friends every day. That's important, and it lets you get by the repetition. I think that one of the other reasons is that we aren't governed in any way. We're free to achieve and grow this business as big as we can, grow your own paycheck as big as you can. We have a system that doesn't say, hey, you can only go so far. It's a cap. It's only X amount per hour. And that means that there will be great weeks, right? There might be weeks that are a little bit of a challenge, and hopefully your average is above the average where you could be anywhere else. So if you can have fun every day and make good money and get excited about what you're building, whether that's our community or our business, that since I've been here, when we started, we had one market, and we were about $17.5 million in annual sales, and now we have 4 markets, and we're going to be 280. That's pretty remarkable in 10 years. And you've all certainly helped to get us there. So I want to do a little exercise because I'm just curious about where we'll end up. If you were here when we just had the Boston market, I want you to stand up. So that was way back in the beginning. That was where it all began. And it's pretty impressive that we have that many people that were here from the beginning. And so if you were here in Telefluent in the old building, one of the 2 old buildings, any other people stand up? So we got a couple more. God, those buildings were just not that good, were they? At one point, we were in a room behind a little curtain, and we were all packed in there. And then we had the next building, which people made it halfway up the stairs, and we were trying to recruit them, and then they walked out and left and never had an interview. They were wondering what was going on in this place. So if you were here when we got the Colorado market, stand up. No more? No more? All right. Anyone remember the San Francisco market, which we had and is gone? Were you here then? I see Mia. All right, who was here when we gave the Arizona market? I expect a whole lot more people to stand up. So this is good. We have a lot of people who have been here quite a bit of time. Everyone who's in the last training class that just came through my office and looked at my window, stand up. All right, why don't everyone just stand up? So, my hope for all of you is that everyone in this room is going to be here next year. I hope that we have at least 1 more market next year, which will mean more opportunity, more excitement. I hope that somehow Christina can find a way to top this, because I think this is a new high water mark for celebrating the holidays and being together for another year. I do want to thank my wife, Lynn, for supporting me in 10 years. She has to put up with a lot of shit, I'm going to tell you right now, and she does that with flying colors. So thank you all for being part of our family, part of our friendship circle, and it's going to be a great ride. I'm going to turn this over to our owner, John Esler, and he wants to say a few words. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everybody. Ignite the light. Matt Miller, 10 years. You guys, I think many of you read an email I sent on Sunday about my thoughts on Matt Miller. They were many. What I want to say about Matt tonight is, as good as he is in leading our organization from 17 million to 280 million, he's grown as a leader. But what's been constant is he's been our moral compass in our company. And when things change, everything changes, except your morals should stay constant. And when we have had to be reminded of that, Matt's been there to do that. So Matt, I value that tremendously. Most of all, Jeannie and I value your friendship with you and Lynn. Looking forward to another 10 years, and thanks for everything. So in addition to Matt celebrating 10 years, we have another very special person that I'd like to talk about. Her name is Joann Lemerise. So many of you may not know Joann's story, so I'm going to tell you a little bit of it now. Joann started with me before anyone else in this entire room, except my wife, in 2002, when I owned a company called Better Living Sunrooms. We started, I think Joann started down at the Worcester Commons, where that doesn't exist anymore, but we had a call center down in the Worcester Commons. And I want to tell you two stories about Joann's career here that are indicative of how excellent she has been over these 15 years. So in 2004, we started Renewal by Andersen Boston, and we had a call center that serviced both Better Living Sunrooms and Renewal by Andersen. I owned both companies at the time. And then in 2005, we sold Better Living Sunrooms, and we had two call center managers, Bob Klain and a girl named Kristen. And Kristen went over to work at Better Living, and Bob stayed at Renewal by Andersen. We had 10 call center agents, and Bob and Kristen decided to have a draft. They each got to select one and one. Which of the 10 were going to go, 5 were going to go to Renewal by Andersen, 5 to Better Living. And so Kristen got the first pick, and without hesitation, she picked Joann. And Bob was like, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. And we were bummed. I was so bummed. And so Joann didn't work for us for like 18 months. And then Better Living went out of business. And we got to bring Joann back to the family. So that was awesome. But the point is that she was the best call center agent we had out of 10 in 2004. Fast forward to a couple weeks ago. So we have this company that we've hired to listen to our calls and score them for quality. And as I understand it, Eileen and Bob were on the phone with this company, and they were evaluating our calls. And Bob just said, listen, tell me who of all our callers forms the best connection with our customers. And they said, without a doubt, Joann Lemerise. So 15 years later, this woman is still at the top of our game when we got 75 callers. So Joann, come on up here, please. Scott, you too. So thank you for just blessing us with you for 15 years. You have made such an impact on our customers, but most of all on us. We're going to miss you terribly. but we wish you just an amazing next part of your life. And we also understand you have a standing invitation to come to the Christmas party every year. And so we love you very much. Thanks, Scott. So we got some other gifts for Joann. And Scott, you can take these and open them at your leisure.
Wait until all the hugging's done and everything. That's a tough one to follow. What do you do? There's lots of crying and hugging. I'm not really the hugging and crying guy. So.
Bob, you love girls that cry. I cried in his office. He was happy that I did.
All right, break it up. I don't know what else to say after John said all that, but I do want to thank Joann. A couple things that stand out to me about Joann's career, most notably, is her consistency, like John just spoke to about. From the beginning of her career to the end of the career, she was on top of her game, and I never met anybody who showed up and did their job more consistently in the 12 years that I've been here that has done it so consistently over that amount of time. So, thank you very much. But we're not done with Matt, because we did kind of go a little bit out of order here and shucked and jived, so I do have some stuff for Matt. So first of all, I also want to thank Matt's lovely wife, Lynn. So Lynn, thank you very much. So most of all, I want to thank you because after seeing that picture of Matt this week in the red striped shorts, it's really nice to know that he met someone in his life that was able to give him some sort of fashion sense. And you look very nice tonight, Matt. And, much better than we saw you a couple days ago. So thank you for that. In a few minutes you're going to see a really nice video about Matt. And I think what you're going to take away from it is that there are a lot of people out there, even outside this room, that really think really highly of Matt, and really, a lot of people around the company and around the network, the Renewal by Andersen network, had really great things to say about Matt. But I'm thinking back 10 years ago, and would you believe that it wasn't always that way? I think Matt was a little misunderstood when he started. Do you guys, anybody remember that? I mean, John just did the little poll there. There wasn't many of us that were around at that point, but I'm thinking back to 2007, right? So this is, for those of you who aren't that very well at math, that's 10 years ago, right? So in 2007 was the year that Matt was hired. And I looked today on Wikipedia, I was trying to think what other significant events happened in 2007, right? So Matt being hired, in my opinion, was the most significant event, but there were a couple others. In February of 2007, North Korea announced that they were going to halt their nuclear program. In April, they were going to do it in 2 months. 10 years later, we're in the same spot.
Yeah, baby! Woo! That was 2007.
The iPhone was announced in January of 2007. The first iPhone was released and sold in June of 2007. Those of you who know Matt well is that he eats, sleeps, and breathes Apple products. He loves Apple. But in December of 2007, when Matt was hired, he was not interested at all in buying that iPhone. He had a flip phone. I'd ask where Nate is, but I know Nate's not here because Nate doesn't show up to anything. But it was a little bit better than Nate's flip phone that he owns now. And I remember talking to Matt and saying, hey, you don't want a new phone? I mean, at least we had Blackberries back then. Like most of us have Blackberries even before the iPhone. Matt was like, no. why would I want email on my phone? Like, when I'm done with work, I want to be done. Like, I want to go home and ride my bike, ride my dirt bike or whatever. I remember thinking to myself, wow, so he's reporting to John. He wants to be done with work at 5:30 and not receive emails. And, you know, it's not going to last that long. But here we are 10 years later and he's still here. But, you know, he was misunderstood in the early days. So Matt, you got to understand, you got those of you who worked in the old office, you remember it was a little spread out, right? And so in order to get to Matt's office, you actually had to walk out of the main office, walk through like a stairwell, go upstairs, walk through somebody else's office, walk through a meeting room, which was our biggest meeting room at the time. It was about six seats in that, and a small table. And then if you looked close enough, you'd see in the corner that there was an office there. And in the meeting room, Matt would have like spare parts to bikes and stuff laying around because he was always going for bike rides at lunch and everything. And so the girls in like the accounting office would be like, who is this guy? Like, he comes down once in a while and drops a FedEx envelope on my desk. Like, I don't even know who he is. I'm like, that's the new marketing guy. He's a good guy. They're like, yeah, okay. And every once in a while, I see him walk out with his bike shorts on. He's going for bike rides at lunch. Like, nobody knew who he was. But, you know, it's fair to say that, you know, 10 years later, everybody loves Matt and everybody knows Matt well. I just have a couple quick short stories. You know, I think of a couple significant points in my relationship with Matt. And I remember when Matt became my manager. So that was maybe a year after he started, and I can remember we went to lunch, and he presented me my new bonus plan, and we talked about, you know, what we're going to do moving forward. And was that not your average Joe's, of course? And I remember him saying to me, he said, "Hey, I want you to be my partner. You know, I want, you know, we're going to be partners on this moving forward." And I was like, okay, like, all right, slick, right, partner, right? But you know, I can honestly say that, you know, now, you know, 9-10 years later, that I think most of us that work for Matt would agree that that is how he views relationships. And, you know, Matt doesn't, you know, dictate things. He knows the right way, but he's going to help you find it. And I really respect that and value that about working with him. He's really been a great guy to work with. I've also always been impressed with the level of involvement that Matt has at every level. You know, Matt, you know, you guys know he's in the weekly meeting every single week. He's in both meetings every single week. He's in almost every coach's meeting, and he's probably on the phone with John and Matt at least once a week for whatever meetings that they have. And so to be involved at every level from the ground floor all the way to the top and really know what's going on at every level of the company and still do your job, you know, to the extent that he does it, I think is extremely impressive. But, you know, I think the nicest thing I can say about Matt, and the biggest compliment I can pay to Matt, is that, you know, I've been here for a while. It's been, you know, 12 years for me, and you know, I remember what it was like when we first started and where we've gotten to now, and the growth of the company in terms of volume and revenue, and not just that, but, you know, like John referred to about, you know, what the type of company that we've become. And when you get this big, you know, there are very few people that you think are irreplaceable. But, you know, when I think about Matt, I think, you know, there is no way that we would be where we were, or where we are now, without Matt Miller. There's, you know, he's one of the few. So. Thank you.
Bobby, that was beautiful. As John said earlier this week, he sent out a beautiful email about Matt's 10-year anniversary. And in that email, he quoted Matt as speaking about, you know, in business, I don't like praise that's about a person per se. I'm paraphrasing. I prefer praise about an action or a success that somebody had. And for me, I'm here to offer a dissenting opinion on that tonight. Because to just praise Matt for the relentless, fastidious, quantifiable pursuit of better and better just doesn't fully capture the Matt that I think we all appreciate. 6 years ago, when I was just getting started in the network, and I was just getting my legs under me, and then S&E was just getting its legs under it. Matt and I would have intense conversation about a marketing manager that we swung and missed on, or a canvassing manager that we swung and missed on, or maybe we're pulling back on the marketing budget because you guys were doing too good a job and sales was doing too good a job and production couldn't keep up. And I could always count on Matt to give me much more than the numerical financial process analysis of that situation. We would get into the nuance and the intangibles and the art of what we all do. And that spoke to my soul, because to me, that space that we all live in, the nuance, the intangible, the art, that's what separates us from everybody else. That's what makes us great. So from early on, I had a different appreciation of that. Another reason that I think you have to look past the quantifiable with Matt is because you have to appreciate what a fully well-rounded person this guy is. And this is a contrarian, a philosopher, and a contrarian in the best way. A spreadsheet, well, actually more of a study freak than a spreadsheet freak, who also can write like Dickens. He doesn't like team sports, but he's an unbelievable leader of teams, and is a mountain biker, a hiker, a skier. We were at breakfast a couple weeks back, and he's breaking down for me the evolution of the 2-stroke to the 4-stroke dirt bike and how it impacted the motocross sport. I don't get that a lot in my life. So to have that in a partner that I work this closely with, that's gold for me. And I really appreciate that part of Matt. So yeah, Matt's quantifiably great. And every now and again, the planets align, and you get to work with somebody who is so in their comfort zone and so in their sweet spot that work gets elevated to an art form. And for sure we have that with Matt. But that's just one piece of Matt. And that's why I appreciate, and I think we all appreciate, the full Matt Miller. Matt, it's been an unbelievable 10 years. I can't wait to see what comes next. Thank you very much. But listen, enough about Matt. This is not all about Matt tonight. We are also here to celebrate each of you guys. Because what you each do every day and continue to do again this year has again fueled the Esler companies to be not just the biggest affiliate, but the best. And again, that's quantifiably. You, our canvassers, our event promoters, and each of you are the first interactions that our customers have. And the way, the quality of the engagement, the commitment to excellence that you folks tee up for us, enable us to have all the successes that come after. You also elevate a call center to an absolute art form. And that's a unique thing. So to each of you, on behalf of myself, 900 families in 3 time zones, we appreciate what you do every day. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Merry Christmas. I hope to see you on the dance floor. And I'm being told there might be a video. So if you all stay put, thank you so much for your attention. Stay put. We got a very cool video coming up.
I'm Liz Keefe.
And I'm Kathy Lavrentios.
And we're the owners of your advertising agency.
Lead Surge.
Lead Surge, baby.
All about the leads.
And we've been working with Matt for 10 years, which is a really long time.
10 short years, really.
10 short years. And what I love about Matt, it's so collaborative. He never treats us like a vendor, which I love and appreciate so much. He's so smart. I mean, the guy is brilliant. And he pushes me to do better work. And I couldn't ask for a better client and just better marketing partner.
What I love about Matt is how I can totally be myself. I can be so honest, and we can go at it like brothers and sisters. We can disagree, but in the end we come to a resolution, and he asks me, hey, are we okay? And I say, yeah, we're great. Because we are really great together, and I love working with you, Matt. But what I love most about Matt, and you guys that work with him can totally relate to this, is when you make a statement and he is kind of questioning that statement and he gives you the laughing response. Like, well, I don't know about that, or, you know what I'm talking about? And that's priceless.
So Matt's wonderful. We can all agree to that, But he's not perfect, right? He's sometimes his communication style can be a little challenging, like when he just calls to ask you a question about something. And okay, so he's calling me now. Watch this. Hey Matt, how's it going? No, that's a good question. So here's what I think. Yeah, but the thing is, okay, so sometimes it's really hard to get a word in with this guy, right? We all know it. Matt. Happy anniversary, Matt.
Matt Miller.
Hey, Matt.
Hi, Matt. Hi, Matt.
Hey, Matty boy.
The legend,
He's amazing. He's brilliant.
A great colleague.
the famous Matt Miller.
I've been working with you for over 7 years now. Very much interested in seeing a before and after picture of you and see how many gray hairs you acquired over those past 10 years.
You engage, you lead, you inspire.
I appreciate that you gave me the space and the opportunity to be 100% honest, 100% authentic, and just 100% true.
I wanted to thank you for all the incredible advice that you've given me over the past decade.
I personally want to thank you for everything you've done for me. It has been an absolute pleasure working by your side and working with you.
It's been a lot of fun working with you and learning from you, playing hoops with you, though I don't like losing to you.
You have created this culture.
You've helped me with refinancing my house. You've helped me with financial issues.
We thank you for everything you have done for us all these years.
I know there was a propensity every day to come by my office.
Remember when you first started here, you talked to me a lot about, your work-life balance.
You get the privilege of hearing the unique conversations between myself and my customers.
You would, go out for bike rides during lunch and take your dirt bike out after work, and you always talked about how you wanted to retire early.
And I notice that you shake your head every once in a while.
I'm not sure if you missed that target date yet or not, but I think I speak for everyone when I say that we hope that you never retire, at least not until, I'm gone. So here's to at least another 10 years.
You might hear a quick little turn of phrase, like, I'm up to my armpits in alligators, or I'm putting out fires with gasoline.
But if I'm being totally honest,
The thing that I like the most about Matt,
he's always pushing the envelope.
he's caring and he's giving, and he genuinely wants all of us to be better.
You always make time for those people around the network that know you the closest.
But I think the biggest advice that you've given me over the years is that life really is a game of inches.
I am proud to work for you and with you.
Congratulations on 10 years with the Esler companies. That's huge.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
What? Congratulations, my friend.
Congratulations on 10 years with RbA.